What is up, YouTube? Welcome to PanFro Games. Pokemon Legends ZA is about to come out, and I'm going to showcase how to shiny hunt every one of those megas in Pokemon Scarlet and Violet so you can prepare for a shiny only run. Of course, guys, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe, and of course, become a channel member and support my work, and let's dive in. To begin with my favorite Mega Evolution, Mega Charizard X and Y, and to hunt this is going to be super easy. Blueberry Academy, we're going to be at Savannah Rest Area 1. We're going to be using a Fire Level 3 sandwich. And you see that only Charmanders spawn in this general area. And we got a lot of these Charmanders. It's a super easy shiny hunt because there's going to be so many of them around in this area. And you're looking for a Charmander that's going to be golden, and literally behind the bush you get a shiny Charmander just like that. Literally immediately, shiny Charmander is done. Mega Charizard X and Y. Here we go. And now we can move on to our next shiny hunt. To continue our fire type hunts, we're going to go for the Mega Houndoom, aka shiny hunt for Houndour. And if you have the Kitakami DLC, it actually spawns pretty much everywhere. Paradise Barrens is my personal favorite place to do it. You can also do it on the Infernal Pass here. Pretty decent spot as well. If you are in the base game and you don't have access to the DLC, then you can do it over in the Inlet Grotto area here. But this is the best place right here. And shiny Houndour is blue. It sticks out like a sore thumb. And pretty much this is an isolate shiny hunt for the Houndour in this general area. So it's going to be an incredibly super easy shiny hunt. You can just run around. You can do a picnic reset. As you can see, there is only Houndours near us. So it's going to be very easy. And they pack spawn too. Let's move on to our next shiny hunt. Next up is Numel to get that shiny Mega Camerupt. And pretty much from this stretch from this city right here to this Pokemon Center is going to be an isolated shiny hunt with a fire type sandwich, which is really nice. And the shiny for it is actually relatively obvious. As you can see, this is an isolated hunt. And we got the shiny right here. It is a blue top instead of the green tops compared to over here. And the color of its skin is a little bit lighter color too. But overall, a really easy shiny hunt. Pretty easy walk around shiny hunt in general as well. You can just picnic reset for this too. But there we have it, and let's move on to our next one. Next up is shiny Torchic for the Mega Blaziken, and you can get this in the polar biome just south of the Polar Plaza. We're gonna go right here. You can see that there's a little sand mark on the map there, and we're gonna go into this cave. And with a fire type sandwich is gonna be an isolated shiny hunt for Torchic. Now, to do this hunt, you want to like stand over here, and you're going to get bunch of Torchics popping into that corner over there. And the shiny Torchic's like really obvious and noticeable. So you're just going to chill out here until you get enough spawns that you're happy with. If you don't see a shiny, then you're going to go to the middle of the room and pop a picnic right here. And then you're just going to go back into the corner again until you eventually get your shiny. There is going to be a Tyranitar in the middle of this cave before you come in. So make sure you knock that thing out before you do anything else. We're just going to chill here until we get our shiny Torchic. There we have it. We got ourselves a shiny Torchic. You can see that is an inverted of the regular. So sticks out. Pretty cool. You didn't know a female Torchic is pretty rare. So if you want to go for a female Mega Blaziken, then this could be a lot longer of a hunt. But there you go. That's our shiny Torchic. And let's begin our next one. And our next shiny hunt is for the Bulbasaur for Mega Venusaur. And we're going to be doing this in a coastal biome. We're going to be using a poison level 3 sandwich here. And I'm in a perfect spot to reset right on this ridge on the overlook. And we actually got a shiny Bulbasaur right over here. You can see that is a green body. It'll stick out in the cluster spawn. So it's very easy to notice the difference between the shiny and the non-shinies. But there we go. Got ourselves a nice mark on it too. And let's move on to our next shiny hunt. And our next shiny hunt is gonna be for Bellsprout. Gonna be caught in Kitakami, and unfortunately, you have to do an outbreak to get a Bellsprout shiny or Weepinbell shiny. Honestly, it's a little bit easier to see the shiny on Weepinbell, but there's too many grass and poison types in the general area, so I would just recommend resetting so you get a mass outbreak. Knock out 60 Bellsprouts, and with the shiny charm and level 3 sandwich, either grass or poison, you should be able to get it relatively quickly. Now for the shiny for Bellsprout, looks like it has golden leaves over here instead of the green, as you can see back there. And pretty much its head is going to be matching the leaf color. So there we go. We are ready for our Mega Victreebel. Very excited for that one. Our next shiny hunt is shiny Trico for Mega Sceptile. Very easy shiny hunt. We're going to use this grass sandwich. in the canyon biome in the DLC area. We're going to go right over here because you can exclusively hunt for Trico in this area and do a picnic reset hunt. And the shiny for Trico is incredibly easy. You know, it's like a dark green versus all the light green ones, non-shiny ones back there. And of course, the big red tail that really sticks out. Super easy to notice, and I do think this sandwich is relatively easy to make, and good luck on getting yourselves a shiny Trico for a Mega Sceptile. Our next shiny hunt is going to be for shiny Snover for Mega Abomasnow. And essentially with a grass level 3 sandwich, you can get Snovers all over the place. It's not going to be isolated. There is going to be the Winter Sawsbuck and Deerling. However, you get a lot of spawns out here. I was just doing a picnic reset right outside of this Pokemon Center, and we did get ourselves a shiny Snover. It looks the exact same as his evolved form shiny, so pretty much super easy shiny hunt in general. They spawn a lot. They spawn in clusters, so should be really easy to get one of these. Good luck. And our next shiny hunt is going to be shiny Ghastly for the shiny Mega Gengar. Luckily for us, Ghastly is such a common spawn pretty much in any ruin throughout the game. And I like it here because it doesn't have any Drifloon or any version exclusive ghost spawning in, which is really nice. But you could do it at any ruin on the map. You can also do a town reset here, but it's not isolated. There are some ghost Pokemon as Zapapico on both ends. But shiny Ghastly is actually very noticeable. It's going to be more of a red to it, and there we go. So it's like a red blue hue around it, a little bit different, you can tell. And so there you go, very easy shiny hunt. And let's move on to our next. And next up is Shuppet for the Mega Baitnet shiny, and I do think personally you're best off doing an outbreak for this. You can get some spawning over in Artazone, you can get some spawning over here as well, but it's just not that great overall because it's not an isolated shiny hunt. So I would just recommend going for a mass outbreak, knocking out 60, nighttime only hunt. And it's a relatively easy shiny to tell. It's like a teal color versus the purple of the regular one. So there we go. Shiny Shuppet. Good luck on that hunt. And let's move on to our next. Next up is shiny Mega Gardevoir and Gallade. And I think the best personal spot is using a fairy type sandwich during the daytime outside of Lavencia, doing a town reset at Lavencia South. And you can see that we got ourselves a shiny Kirlia right here. And it's a super easy town reset. Now, I will say that to get a Gardevoir, you can do any Kirlia. It can be a boy, it can be a girl. But if you're going to get a Gallade, it does have to be a male Kirlia. So keep that in mind that this will be a guarantee for your Mega Gardevoir. But for Gallade, it could be a little bit trickier for sure. Now, there are a couple other spots that you could potentially do this shiny hunt, but essentially how to do this hunt is super easy in this one spot. I just want to showcase the exact method here. So we got that fairy type sandwich during the day. Lavencia, you just want to go out right here. You're only going to be getting Kirlias with the fairy sandwich, which is really nice. And then you can look over on the beach. You're only going to be getting more Kirlias over here as well. So pretty easy shiny hunt. Now, you can run around the ice mountains over here with a fairy type sandwich during the day, and it's only going to be cluster spawns of the Ralts with Gardevoir. So if you are, you know, aiming for just the Gardevoir, you could do this potentially. I do think it's a little bit slower though. Good news, there is a way to isolate shiny hunt for Gallade and Kitakami just north of the Fallen Horn. I like the picnic reset right here with a psychic type sandwich, and you can do this at night as I'm demonstrating right here. And you can see we got a ton of Gallade spawning in, and you can just be like on the corner of this ridge, like right over here, and just do a picnic reset, and you're going to be getting a ton of spawns of the Gallade. So it's a relatively easy shiny hunt in general. I just got to have the DLC to do it. But good luck on this hunt. Now, our next shiny hunt with a fighting type sandwich is going to be for Riolu to get a Mega Lucario. And we're going to be back in the Fellhorn Gorge area. We're going to just be right underneath where we did the Gallade. And with a fighting type sandwich, you can do a picnic reset in this area and get yourself a shiny Riolu. You can see that a good amount of Riolus is the only fighting type that spawns in the area, which is pretty nice. You could also reset and hope you get some sort of... Oh, the shiny disappeared. Oh, there it is. I was about to say, the shiny disappeared. I was like, where are you at? There you go, shiny Riolu. But you could keep resetting for a mass outbreak if, you know, you want to get in a couple different areas in Kitakami. But overall, Kitakami, is going to be the best place to do it. You could hunt it in the base game, but it is not isolated, so I prefer this location. So good luck on this hunt, and let's move on to our next. Our next shiny hunt is going to be for shiny Meditite, for shiny Mega Medicham. And I think the best place is a Psychic type sandwich underneath the Psychic type city gym, essentially in the cave system underneath of it. And you can just do a reset method here, and you're just going to be getting tons of Meditites, Medichams, super easy. And the Meditites are going to be red shinies, the Medichams are going to be blue shinies. Super obvious, really easy hunt. You can do this as a walk around as well, so you don't have to do a picnic reset if you don't want to. It's going to be relatively easy in general. So the whole cave system is going to be like this, so should be easy. Good luck, and let's move on to our next hunt. Next up is shiny Mega Slowbro, which we can isolate shiny hunt with a Psychic type sandwich. However, if you go around the lake, you're going to be getting Slowpokes and Slowbros, mostly Slowpokes. Now, the Slowpokes are very hard to tell they're shiny. It's not the easiest, so I do think it's easier to go for a Slowbro outbreak in the area just by making a Psychic encounter sandwich, resetting, and then eventually you'll get a Slowbro. And shiny Slowbro sticks out like a sore thumb, so much easier shiny hunt, no strain on your eyes, relatively easy. And that's another one done, guys, so let's move on. Our next shiny hunt is shiny Beldum for shiny Mega Metagross, and we're going to go to the Polar Plaza, just go south of that, and you want to be pretty much right where I am. Using a Psychic type sandwich, you can isolate shiny hunt for Beldum and Metang super easily. Shiny Beldum is super obvious. It's going to be that platinum color instead of the blue. It is going to stand out. Very easy. Beautiful and gorgeous shiny for sure. Just keep in mind that it has a 3% catch rate, so this is going to be one of the harder Pokemon to catch in this video because it technically has a legendary catch rate. So hey, a Master Ball is definitely worthy of this Pokemon. Good luck on the shiny hunt. Let's move on to our next. Next up is shiny Mega Scizor. Very easy. Central Plaza, Steel type sandwich in the Canyon area. And we're going to be doing a Central Plaza reset. You can see we already got a shiny here, but look at the isolated hunt here. All these Scizors that could be shiny, but essentially you just touch the wall, run back and forth, and you get all these spawns immediately. Incredibly easy shiny hunt. If you don't have access to the DLC, you could hunt for a shiny Scyther. A Scyther doesn't have an isolate hunt, but you could always just hunt for a Scyther and do an outbreak. Super easy hunt as well, but this is even easier and faster, and you don't have to, worry about a trade evolution. So there you go. Let's move on to our next shiny hunt. Next up is shiny Heracross or Mega Shiny Heracross, and we're going to be going to the Ground Blight Shrine area just north, essentially in the trail right here. I'm at this particular spot doing a picnic reset with a fighting type sandwich, and it's only Heracrosses. It is only Heracrosses. You can do this a walk around hunt. It's literally the only fighting type that spawns in this whole area, and the shiny is obvious. It's pink. There is a male and female difference with the horn. Females have like a heart, and this one's a male. So if you want to get both a male and female, then that's a fun little shiny hunt you can do. But we're just going to go ahead and catch this Heracross here, and it should be another easy shiny hunt. So let's move on to our next. Next up is shiny Mareep for the shiny Mega Ampharos. Super easy. Electric type sandwich. We're going to be going to this city right over here. And we're going to be doing a town reset method. So you just walk into the town or the Pokemon Center. It'll reset all the spawns. Walk right out. The spawns all come back. I'm essentially just doing it in the middle of the Pokemon Center, but you can see the shiny, fluffy, cotton candy sheep is right here. Super noticeable. They don't really run away either, so it's going to be a very easy and quick shiny hunt for you. Good luck, and let's move on to our next up is hunting for shiny Snorunt. So you can make into a shiny Mega Glalie, or hey, maybe the Mega Frostlass. This works too. We're going to go to the Passage Pokemon Center right here with an Ice type sandwich, and we're just going to reset on this wall right here, pretty much right next to this cave entrance. Reset over here, do a picnic reset with the ice sandwich. You'll get a lot of spawns, and the shiny Snorunt is incredibly obvious. Also, an incredible, amazing shiny. Now, to keep in mind that Glalie can be either male or female, but for Frostlass, it would have to be a female. So if there is the Mega Frostlass, then hey, you are ready to go on that. Good luck on this hunt. Let's move on. Next up is shiny Mega Gyarados. We got isolate shiny hunt this with a flying type sandwich just by going to the Gracia Stones here, just north on the riverbank right here. You can just picnic reset. It's only going to be Gyaradoses, which is really nice. I mean, you get a little bit of Hawluchas over there, but you can see we already got ourselves a shiny red Gyarados ready for that Mega. Super easy shiny hunt. in general, and I think it's a lot easier than going for a Magikarp as well. So it's super easy. Look at that, level 54, throw a Master Ball, and let's move on to our next shiny hunt. Next up is shiny Mega Altaria hunting, and there isn't really a good way to isolate shiny hunt this thing. Unfortunately, Swablu is normal and flying, Altaria is dragon and flying. They spawn a lot around the lake, however, there's no isolated way. You could get Swablus down over here as well, but I do think it's just easier to get an encounter sandwich for either dragon or flying, and then reset until you get an outbreak. I got an Altaria outbreak around the lake. I knocked out 60. And luckily for us, the shiny is very easy for both Swablu and Altaria. It's all gold. And I do want to mention that the Altarias will cluster spawn as well. So if you have Altaria and Swablus, they'll cluster up. But I think it's just a little bit easier just to go directly right for the Altaria. So there we go. And let's move on for our next shiny hunt. Next up, we're shining for a shiny Dratini or Mega Shiny Dragonite. And if you're in Pokemon Scarlet, you can actually sort of isolate shiny hunt Dratini in this exact particular zone. This is going to be just southwest of the Fury Falls, but you can pretty much do it here. And you can see I got my shiny back here. The only thing that spawns in this particular area is Dratinis. Now you cannot picnic reset. I just got double shiny, by the way. Double shiny with my sandwich. That is a little bit insane. Double shiny Dratini, baby. Let's go. But if you're Pokemon Violet, you will be getting Dreepies here, which is a little bit annoying. So I may recommend going for a just resetting until you get a Dratini outbreak. Or you could try to hunt around the lake over here, where you get Dratinis with cluster spawns with Dragonairs, but will not be isolated because you do get Tatsugiris. You also get Altarias spawning on the land as well, near the water. So you probably are best off just going for a mass outbreak. But if you are in Pokemon Scarlet, you can do in this particular spot, and you can do a manual reset just by flying a little bit far away, coming back, and it's a pretty decent spawn. But let's get our double shiny Dratini. That's pretty sweet. I really hope that Mega Shiny Dragonite is going to be a pretty cool looking shiny. Maybe it will be pink instead of green, just like Dratini and Dragonair. But let's move on to our next hunt. Next up is shiny hunting for Gible to get that shiny Mega Garchomp. So we're going to be in Kitakami. You can actually isolate shiny hunt it in this cave. So you're going to fly to the Infernal Pass. The cave entrance is literally right here. So fly here, go to the cave entrance right here, go into the cave. As you can see, I have another double shiny. I can't believe I got the Dratini in the previous section. Now I got the double shiny Gible. Very obvious thing for the Gabites, but essentially go into this cave, and you want to go into this corner right over here. You don't want to be on this back wall because you're going to get some Pokemon that are not dragon type spawning. You're going to go over on this wall because for some reason on the left side of the cave, you're going to get a different spawn tile, which is going to give you like Duskulls and Chinglings and things like that. You want to be on this part of the wall right here, and it will be an isolated shiny hunt for Gible and Gabite. And I remember testing this on Switch 1. It works perfectly. The same on Switch 2. You can see we had a couple weird guys coming in now because I moved a little bit. So you want to picnic reset in this corner. But there you go. Got ourselves a shiny Gible. Shiny and two shiny Gibles. So super awesome, super easy stuff. Unfortunately, shiny Garchomp is a very lame shiny. Doesn't have a lot of changes at all. I definitely wish it would get an update in the future. And for those who want to know the exact direction, so Infernal Pass right over here, right? So we're at the Infernal Pass, and then we're just going to drop down right into the cave. We're going to hover down here. You can see the little cave ledge right here. And this is going to be our Gible cave. I already set off our sandwich, so you're going to be getting Gible's Gabites and essentially be in this particular corner right here. Look the other way. Picnic reset. You may need to move a little bit off the wall, but essentially when you do this correctly, it's going to be 90% Gibbles. I see I'm maybe a little bit too far away. So, but you can see essentially nearly an isolated hunt. Most of the time is isolated. You just got to mess around with the spot a little bit on the spawns. Maybe let's try it over here and see how this goes for us. But overall, super great spot, and in general, there's a great shiny hunting spot for a bunch of other Pokemon. So you can see I moved a little bit off the wall here, and now we're just getting some Gibbles. Next, I'm going to show you how to shiny hunt for Bagon. Now, Bagon is a Pokemon Violet exclusive, so we're in our Violet copy, and it's going to get us a shiny Mega Salamence. So we're going to start over here, East Province Area 3, and we're using one of my favorite exploits ever made on the channel. So we're going to go north from that watchtower right over there, that fly spot, and then we're going to go directly north right to this cave system over here. Now, this cave system is pretty awesome because it can let us get Bagon, Larvitar in Pokemon Scarlet, because that is a version exclusive, and Sableye, which all have Megas. So this is actually going to be a really amazing spot. So we are going to get to the back of this cave, near where you can already see we got a Bagon here. Get to the back of this cave here. There's going to be a ton of Pokemon, especially if you're on Switch 2, which is, a little bit annoying. But we're going to try to just get to the middle of this room and try to picnic reset in the middle of this room. Now, you cannot picnic reset near a trainer, so you are going to have to essentially get a little bit creative in how close you're going to get. But you're going to probably want to be right here. See, so you're going to have to, like, move a little bit closer. This setup can absolutely be annoying, especially on the Switch 2. It works well on Switch 1. But because of the amount of Pokemon spawns, it is can get rather annoying. But there we go. So we got our picnic reset. And now we are going to go make ourselves a dragon type sandwich. So now that we're in the cave, you can see that when we got our shiny Bagon, but they just come out of the wall pretty easy. This exploit method is amazing. And like I said, we are going to be doing this exact same method for the Larvitar and for the Sableye here. So you can do the Sableye in both versions here. But there you go, shiny Bagon. Let's move on to our next shiny hunt. And in the exact same spot where we went to the cave, just north of East Province Area 3, which is like pretty much right here. You can check out the Bagon section for the exact location, but essentially we're right here in this cave. Picnic resetting with the Ghost Sandwich. And it's an easy isolated shiny hunt. Pretty much an exploit hunt because they'd be popping from this wall. But we got ourselves our shiny Sableye ready for shiny Mega Sableye. The only issue, honestly, with this spot is it is really hard to navigate once it's full of whatever Pokemon you're hunting. You can do this in both in Scarlet and Violet. Very easy hunt, though. There we go. And let's move on to our next hunt. And next up is shiny Larvitar. Only in Pokemon Scarlet. We're using the exact same location we used for Sableye and Bagon in the previous one. But essentially, you fly here to Watch Tower. You go here to this cave. At the end of this cave, as you can see, we got our shiny Larvitar. At the end of this cave, you want to be like right here. And you can picnic reset right in this area. And essentially, all the Larvitars are going to fall out of the cave wall on the right. You get a couple in the back as well. But you can see they just pop in, pop out. Lots of spawns, isolated hunt for the most part. Super easy. And that's how you get your shiny Larvitar. You get that mega shiny Tyranitar. Let's move on. Next up is shiny Mudkip or shiny Mega Swampert. We're going to be in the coastal biome with a water type sandwich. We're going to start at this bridge and then we're going to head into this cave system. Now, this is a little bit of a tricky shiny hunt on Switch 2. It was a little bit easier on Switch 1. But they're actually all going to spawn in over here. We're going to cluster. They also spawn up there. So we're just going to wait for them to spawn in a bit. A decent amount. And if you jump onto your ride Pokemon, you can jump up and see. Once you feel like you've seen enough of them, you actually have to like run into the middle of the room to do a picnic. And then you're going to run back to the back wall. And you're going to just do that again. And hopefully get your shiny Mudkip. I mean, it has a lot more spawns in the Switch 1 version. There is a tutorial on the Mudkip for the Switch 1 version on my channel. I posted like a year ago, so definitely check that out. But for the updated Switch 2 version, I feel like this one works. I mean, this one also works on Switch 1. You can see that we got ourselves our shiny Mudkip. It's very obvious. It's pink. It stands in the back. Honestly, this didn't take me too long. The hardest part is honestly just making sure you stay back in this corner so you get as many spawns in the bottom and on the top when you jump up to see. A relatively easy shiny hunt. And let's move on to our next. Next up is the shiny Squirtle hunt for shiny Mega Blastoise, and you're gonna have to do an outbreak hunt here. This is not an isolatable hunt normally, and it just isn't in general. So you're gonna have to get an encounter sandwich, reset. It took me like 40 resets just to get this outbreak to happen. I knocked out 60 Squirtles, and then I used this sandwich to get my shiny Squirtle. Very obvious to the green shell. It's also a lighter color, so it's super easy, but you can see there's a bunch of other water Pokemon in the area. So it is going to be a relatively hard shiny hunt. One of the hardest, if not the hardest in this video, but definitely well worth it because who doesn't want that shiny Mega Blastoise? Now let's move on to our next hunt. Now, as I was making this guide, Hawlucha Mega got announced. So here's how you shiny hunt Hawlucha. So you can mostly isolate shiny hunt it in Paldea. You want to go right here. So you're going to be a little bit south of the Fury Falls and of the Shrine. You want to be right over here, and you can do a picnic reset right on this cliff here, and you're going to be looking, I mean, someone spawned behind you, but I really like this spot right here. It is mostly Hawlucha. Sometimes you get a couple Riolus and with a Lucario cluster spawn, but it really is mostly Hawluchas. It's really nice. I like picnic resetting here. And the best part is shiny Hawlucha is so obvious and it's a beautiful shiny. It's the red, it's the purple, and the black. And this is going to be an absolutely amazing shiny mega. So there we go. And there you have it. That is all of the mega Pokemon that you can catch in Pokemon Scarlet and Violet to prepare for Pokemon Legends ZA. Now, prepare for a new video coming to my channel that has a shiny hunting spot for all of the new megas coming to Pokemon Legends ZA. So we'll have another one out shortly. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe and support my work by becoming a channel member. I really appreciate it. And I'll catch you guys next time. Peace out and have a good one.